Everybody, my name is Jamel Boukabou. I'm a 2-star executive with Youngevity International, and I'm coming at you from the studio today. And we have the best doctor on the planet, who I think is Dr. Joel Wallach. I am not a healthcare professional. I am a Youngevity distributor. So please contact your own healthcare professional. Dr. Wallach is a naturopathic doctor. He's also a vet as well, and has a book in the Smithsonian, speaks at the UN, sold well over 500 million copies of the audio version, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And we are very, very happy to have him on the call today. And if you like what Dr. Wallach is saying, and this is the first time you've heard him, please contact the person that referred this video to you. We are going to have a lecture by Dr. Wallach, and then we are going to hear some announcements from Dracy, who's in sales, and then we are going to do Q&A. Now, please have your chat box open for the Q&A section, and myself, the moderator, Mike, will be getting to your questions. Please follow the steps in the chat box there, so I know how to announce you and introduce you to Dr. Wallach. It's a very unique opportunity. This call is open for all teams, and is recorded and posted on the New Zealand official Facebook page, usually 2 days later. So, Dr. Wallach, thank you very much. Week number 28. G'day from Australia.
G'day, Jamel, and all your team. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, and of course, I'm going to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, and that's this COVID thing. I've spent a lot of time with data from the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, NIH, and so forth over the last year and a half. And I pretty much got it figured out, and I know how these pandemics start. I actually had a CD in 2003 and a book in 2005 called Hell's Kitchen, documenting when all this stuff started. Okay, but let me sort of start in the middle. I'll back up and then go to the beginning. But in the middle, this gives clues. Why is it that it's age related? Okay, for instance, when a kid who's 3 years old or less, newborn to 3 years old, when they get the COVID virus, they have a 0.56 chance of dying. 0.06 chance of dying. When they're 18 to 44 years old, they have a 3.9% chance of dying. When they're 45 years old to 64, it's a 22% chance of dying. When they're 25 years old, it's a 65 to 75 years old, it's a 25% chance of dying. And when they're 75 of age plus, they have a 48% chance of dying. So why is it that 3-year-olds can get it? They get 3 days of common cold-like symptoms. They get all the antibodies to chase off the virus. Their temperature goes up a half a degree, 98.5 or 6 Fahrenheit, and then it goes up to 99. It came in class as a fever. And in 3 days' time, it's over with for them. But a 33-year-old, a 53-year-old, a 63-year-old, a 73-year-old, when they get the COVID, they're in trouble. They're going to go to the hospital. They're going to be on respirators. They're going to be on IVs and everything. And many will die. Those who survive will have terrible, long-lasting side effects. So what's the difference between a 35, 45, 55, 65, 75-year-old and a 3-year-old? Well, the 3-year-old's only been eating gluten for 2.5 to 3 years. They've only lost maybe 2% of their intestinal lining. They can still absorb nutrients. And guess what mama puts in the milk formula? Baby vitamins and minerals. Okay. Now your bone marrow is your immune system. Your bone marrow needs all these vitamins and minerals to make antibodies and also to make white blood cells to go and kill and eat the virus. Now, vaccinations do not kill the virus. They just alert your body to bad DNA and RNA that's found in the virus. Then they kill the virus and put it in something they injected into you. And your body should respond when the bug comes. But if you don't have all those nutrients because you've been eating gluten, your intestines are dead. You're 35, 40, 50 years old. You get a 103 fever, 105 fever, you're in real trouble. And many, many will die. Okay, there's pre-existing conditions. These pre-existing conditions set you up. They're all nutritional deficiencies. Okay, if you have any of these, you need to really get rid of them quick because they're saying you're not getting enough nutrition to solve these problems. How on earth are you going to solve the COVID problem? We're talking about appendicitis. Okay, we're talking about let's see here. Diabetes, okay. Hypoglycemia, we're talking about, let's see here. Diabetes, I said, okay. High blood pressure, lung disease like asthma, that kind of stuff. And then there's kidney failure, dialysis, and GI tract stuff. We're talking about eczema, as skin eczema, but in the GI tract, eczema is called things like irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, and let's see here. The appendicitis keeps popping up, psoriatic arthritis, all those things. If you have any of those, if you're obese, if you're 25 pounds or more overweight, you're at a high risk of having a bad outcome from that coronavirus. So you need to, if you have those problems now, get rid of them now. Don't wait until you get sick with the coronavirus. So I better get rid of these bad things. No. And of course, all this is on one of my new CDs with our good buddy Scott Perdulis. He was a pilot in the Air Force. And this CD I gave in English to Singapore, and they translated it into 7 other Asian languages. And of course, the one that's the major language on here is Mandarin. Okay, so I talk for 2 or 3 minutes and they translate to Mandarin. I talk for 2 or 3 minutes, they translate to Mandarin. The title is The Manchurian Prescription. Jamel, are you familiar with the book and the movie, The Manchurian Candidate?
Sure am. I know the one with Denzel Washington in it.
Yeah, the whole idea of the Manchurian Candidate was these guys were prisoners in Korea during the Korean War, and they were brainwashed by the North Koreans. And when the war was over, they set them loose on the U.S. and they had a secret word. When the secret word would come, they knew either to kill somebody or to see another secret word would tell them what to say. And these guys are running for office, and they are talking about all the stuff that the Koreans were for. And so the reason I entitled this CD, The Manchurian Prescription, is because the medical system tends to think that solving the symptoms is okay. In other words, if you have a headache, they'll give you an aspirin to get rid of your headache. Well, that's fine, but what if you have an aneurysm in your brain? Okay. If you have skin stuff and you're itching, they'll give you a cream to put on there to stop the itching or give you prednisone. Hey, I just love my doctor. I'm going to leave him in my will because he stopped my itching. But then you die, okay, because you have a pre-existing condition. Okay, so this is very important. Now, the other piece is, what is it that really gets us in trouble with these pandemics? Well, it all started thousands of years before the Bible, the Old Testament. And there was plagues all the time, and they would come through, and all these viruses and bugs are looking for susceptible populations. That's how they live and propagate. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison, and let's see here, they pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. Within a couple of years, everybody had given up wood stoves, fireplaces, and fire pits for cooking and heat and light and so forth. And they switched over to electricity, but they didn't take something with them. When you're using wood and coal for fuel, you're putting the wood ashes into the garden as a fertilizer, which are minerals, and grandma would eat the wood ashes as a mineral supplement. Pregnant women would eat minerals from the wood ashes as a supplement. But when they went to electricity, they gave all that up. And after a year or so, people began to feel pretty funky. And they said, hey, doc, I feel pretty funky. Shouldn't I be taking some vitamins, minerals? Nah, don't waste your time and money on that. Just eat well, you get everything you need. And then people began to gain weight. For the first time in history, Americans became obese. They were never obese until then. They said, well, doc, why am I getting so fat? Well, you're eating too much animal fat. Stop eating animal fat and eat more whole grains. Well, that was the death, because everybody started eating more wheat, brown, rye, oats, gluten. Okay, and they came out with all these wonderful cereals, Quaker Oats, Aunt Jemima pancakes, the Breakfast of Champions, Wheaties, all wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And it killed the intestines. And so no vitamins and minerals, gluten killing the intestinal lining, absorption's way down. So here comes this virus that doesn't kill a 3-year-old. It's only a common cold-like symptoms for 3 days, but when it gets into you and you're 35, 45, 55, 65, it kills you because you've been eating gluten for all those years and not supplementing. And so this is very important. So let's look at something here. Let's look at New Mexico in America has the highest rate of Latinos, okay, and 2 million people. They have 3,000 dead and 185,000 infections. They have 2 million people. Now you look at New Zealand with 5 million people, they have 26 dead, not 3,000, but 26 dead, and not 185,000 infections. They have 2,000 infections or 3,000 infections, okay? Let's look at another thing here. Australia itself, with 25 million people, has 28,000 infections, almost 29,000 infections and 909 dead. But when you look at, let's look at another country here. Let's look at our state. Let's just look at the state of Taiwan. Actually, it's a country, Taiwan, with 24 million people, very close to the population of Australia, with 900 dead and 29,000 infections. 24,000 population, no, 24 million. Why don't I keep doing it? 24 million population. They have 955 infections, only 9 dead. So what's the difference between Taiwan and Australia? Well, Taiwan and Australia, Australia lives on wheat, butter, iron, oats, and Taiwan lives on corn, maize, rice, sweet potatoes, and something called algae and seaweed. Okay, let's look at another couple. Let's look at the UK. You guys are sort of offspring of the UK. The UK, which is England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. They have 67 million people, and right now, as of today's numbers, 122,785 dead. 122,785 dead. 4,170,000 infections. Thailand, with the same 67 million people, have only 83 dead. Jamel is 83 less than 122,000. Of course.
Yep.
They have 26,000 infections, or 26,000 infections less than 4 million. Well, yeah. So what's the difference? They have the same exact population. Well, Thailand is a classic Asian country. They just live on rice and sweet potatoes and maize, corn, seaweed, okay? And the UK are the guys that took wheat all around the world, so there would be bread for all their sailors wherever they went. A wheat-eating country versus a rice-eating country. Let's look at a couple more quickly here. Let's look at Hong Kong versus Arizona in the United States. Hong Kong and Arizona both have 7.5 million population. Hong Kong has 199 dead. Arizona, the same population, has 15,900 dead. 15,900 versus 199. They have just short of 1 million people, 116,000. Let me back up, 816,000, okay, almost 1 million infections, whereas Hong Kong has 199 dead and 11,000 infections. So 11,000 is a lot less than 816,000. 199 is a lot less than 16,000. So what's the difference here? Well, Hong Kong is a classic Asian country living on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and seaweed, whereas Arizona is 45%, 50%, 60%, depending on what county you're looking at in the state of Arizona. Okay, Latinos, Blacks, and indigenous peoples like your Maoris, okay? And so the indigenous peoples live on wheat, butter, rye, and oats, whereas Hong Kong live on rice. Let's compare Texas. Did I already do that with Vietnam? I don't think so. Texas and Vietnam. Texas has 29 million people. Vietnam has 96 million people. So Vietnam has 3 times the population of Texas. And Texas, as of today, had 2,692,808 infections, 45,274 dead. Okay, now Vietnam, with 3 times the population of Texas, has 35 dead. Not 3,500, not 35,000, but just 35 dead. Now, Jamel, is that less than 45,000 dead? Well, of course. Vietnam has only 2,400 infections. Is that less than 2,692,808? Of course. What's the difference? It's a huge difference. Well, Vietnam lives on rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and maize and seaweed. Again, we're Texas, like Arizona, 45, 50, 60% of their population, depending on what county you're looking at, are Latinos, Blacks, and the indigenous peoples who all live on wheat, butter, rye, and oats. Okay, and I could go on and on and on. I have dozens of these kind of comparisons. I'll do one more. Let's do Mexico and Spain. Mexico is the classic Latino country. and Japan's a classic Asian country. Both of them have like 126 million people. And Japan has 8,000 dead. Mexico has 185,700 dead. Japan has 433,000 infections. Mexico has 2,086,938. So why is there such a huge difference? Well, Japan is a classic Asian nation. It just lives on rice, sweet potatoes, beans, squash, and seaweed. And Mexico just lives on nothing but wheat, barley, rye, and oats. They even drink wheat, barley, rye. I mean, their beer is made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Scotch, bourbon, all that kind of stuff is made from wheat, barley, rye, and oats. The beer in Japan is made from rice. Okay, and so this is very simple stuff. So to deal with this COVID thing, if everybody eats like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and buckwheat and millet, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Okay, maize is okay. We have a couple of seaweed products. One is called Fucoid Z capsules. We have it the same thing in a liquid called Z Radical. We also have Ocean's Gold. I take 3 of each of those twice a day, even though I don't have thyroid problems, but I take it to make my bone marrow happy. And I'm 82 years old, and I don't have any COVID. I don't have any pre-existing conditions. And so I know that this works. My mom had taken me to 20 different doctors before I was 9 years old, and they couldn't help me with problems I had. And I cured myself in 3 days just by taking the vitamins and minerals that we were giving our animals on the farm. In 3 days, I cured myself after 5 years that 20 doctors couldn't fix. And that set me in this direction that we're going in. And so I'm going to give you one more. Ojibwe Indians in Minnesota versus the Navajo Indians in Arizona. The Ojibwe have been eating wild rice and algae from the Great Lakes for 400 years, Jamal. And the Navajos have been eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats since 1895, when the Scottish gave them wheat. They had the fried flatbread made from wheat. The Ojibways that eat wild rice and algae from the Great Lakes for 400 years have 27 infections and 0 dead. Same population. They both have about 350,000 people. They're big reservations. Okay, the Navajos, dead, they have 1,170. The Ojibways have 0. The Navajos have 30,000 infections, and the Ojibways have 27 infections. So again, eating rice for 400 years saved all the Ojibways from dying. And so if people will take this information, employ it in their lives, and take the 90 essential nutrients, Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has a big hammer in a toolbox. You want to use that right now? Of course, we have secret sauces for over 300 different diseases. We have sweeties for things like diabetes. We have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets for kidney issues and also high blood pressure. We have the MSM for arthritis and things of that nature. And so it's very clear that these things work, and we can end this COVID thing in weeks and months if everybody would just get rid of all the bad foods, the wheat, barley, rye, and oats, eat like an Asian, rice, sweet potatoes, beans. And we have the algae. We got the Z Radical and the Fucoid Z and the Ocean's Gold. And then the big hammer, Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. And if you have any pre-existing conditions, get rid of them now. Don't wait until you get the COVID. Get rid of them now. And the odds are the virus won't like you because you don't have any of those problems. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. And I do remember reading the Zero test. It says it's got flucoidin in it as well, with the Zerofem as well, which is part of the seaweed, I think, that you were talking about.
Yeah, and of course, Zero test for the guys and Zerofem for the girls. You know, if you have things like ED or you have prostate problems, all that kind of stuff, you want to get on the Prostate X, add it to your program, and also add the Zero test. Women having female problems, going through menopause at 23, or their cycles are bad, get on the Zerofem. But both the males and females need to eat 3 eggs twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight with soft yolks, because you need the cholesterol. Cholesterol does not cause plaque in your arteries. Cholesterol does not cause heart attacks. Cholesterol is your best friend. It makes up 95% of the weight of testosterone. 95% of the weight of testosterone is cholesterol. So if you're going on a statin drug to lower your cholesterol and you're giving up cholesterol, there ain't nobody home anymore. Okay, you won't like it. Same way with girls. If you're having a struggle with your periods, you're having menopause at age 25 and 30, you want to have healthy babies, get on the Xerafem, eat your 3 eggs twice a day. We also have Woman's FX, and everything will come right. This is unimpeachable evidence. We've been doing this for 50 years. Okay, and all these big articles, okay, have been written now about the COVID thing, just actually support everything that we're saying.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. We are going to have Q&A soon. Please put your questions in the comment box. We've got quite a lot of questions to get to. We do have Dracy from sales today. Dracy, if you would like to give us your announcements and what is happening. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jamel. And again, thank you, Doc, for joining us again.
Thank you, Gracie.
The most important thing that I'm excited to share is that we do know that the shipment with our BTT and collagen peptides is in the southern seas. It's actually expected to be at the dock any day. So that's really good news. It'll all just depend on how quickly customs is. Once customs, then we ship it to our actual warehouse, and then our fantastic warehouse team counts it, puts it on the shelves, and then we get the US to actually put it live for us. So we want you to know we will have a protocol. All auto ships will be first. Then anybody has their list of contact NZ that has called them and said, I want to have some BTT. If your name is on the list, you'll be called immediately first. So if there's anybody on here looking for BTT, make sure you've contacted NZ support and put your name on a list. But there is definitely a really nice stock and supply coming to get us through at least for the next 30, 60 days. But from that point, we're not sure when our next shipment of BTT is in. I know in the US, they're currently on back order as well till the 15th or the 17th, I believe, of March. So we're hoping we're not long after that, but we don't have an ETA on that. The other quickly thing I wanted to share, as you know, we launched the 300 Club this month, and we're going to be giving away prizes, those that achieve 100, 200, just by new customers in the business. And we at Youngevity Down Under will be offering for all orders $99 a free gift of our Youngevity coffee. I know I shared this last week, but why I'm sharing it again, we're getting a really great response for that gift, but you do need to be registered to be able to be entitled to prizes and to be able to offer that to your new enrollment. So please go to promotions.youngevity and get yourself registered, which is awesome. And Rev 90 is officially on sale for under $100. We're just waiting for it to go live on the computer, but you can contact NSAID support if you want to get an order in straight away, and it's in our back office system there, and should be in your back office. Other than that, we have our 1-star call Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. I have a special guest coming on to share and show what she's been doing with the Liver Pure Cleanse, the Liver Pure Cleanse kit, and how it's really impacted her business as well. So that's all for me. Other than I do have a question. So if it's okay, Jamel, I could ask Doc this question. I had it last week. I have a 20-year-old. She weighs about 120 pounds. She's 5'7". She's suffering from shingles, Doc, and she knows how to manage it herself. But as soon as she has high stress, it really flares up and it's quite painful. And so I was hoping that you could help me in what to support her with.
Yes. Okay. Well, the thing you have to appreciate when you have shingles, the virus is there. Okay, it's in you. And so every time you get stressed, it'll pop up. So the thing that needs to be done here is we don't know how much she weighs, so I'll go by 100 pounds, correct?
She's 120 pounds.
120 pounds. Okay. So she needs the big hammer for her to support her immune system, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One of those, I'd also have her get an extra bottle of our selenium. 1 bottle of selenium comes with that. So I want to get another bottle of our selenium so she can take 3 selenium twice a day, not from the pharmacy. We have 5 cofactors in ours. And then I want her to use our colloidal silver. She wants to put 2 droppers full, kills every kind of virus you can think of, everything from HIV to smallpox to COVID to you name it. Okay, Asian flu. She needs to use 2 droppers full of colloidal silver under her tongue ½ hour before each meal. 2 droppers full of colloidal silver under her tongue ½ hour before bed. Okay, and then she needs to use the hand sanitizer on top of the blisters. Okay, which will kill the viruses. And then she, in addition to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, she needs also to help her bone marrow by taking the MSM, 1 bottle of that a month. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. The MSM helps rebuild the bone, the internal bone where the immune system is. And then I want her to take Killer Biotic. She could take Killer Biotic, take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And stay away from all the gluten so she can absorb the nutrients. She cannot have 1 cheat day per month. Okay. Or 1 cheat meal per month. She's got to be totally, absolutely gluten-free. She cannot work in a bakery. She cannot work in a restaurant. And she could work in a restaurant in the parking lot, but she couldn't work in the kitchen, with all the flour flying around, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So she got to kind of pick and choose who she spends her time with. She cannot have renters in her house who are cooking with gluten and eating gluten and so forth, because it'll be cross-contamination in the laundry and the food preparation surfaces and the rugs and the couches and so forth. And so that'll take care of it. These viruses go away very easily, but you got to be on them 24/7. You can't just treat them when they pop up, which is what most people try to do. Well, I was just treated. Every time I treat it, it goes away, but then in 3 weeks it comes back. Well, that's because you're not doing anything in the 3 weeks before it comes back.
Well, it's interesting, and thank you for that, because she is usually 110% gluten-free and all this, but she had 2 weeks where a bakery, her sister brought in a bakery of end-of-day supply twice, and she couldn't resist. And I know she did about 2
she
weeks
paid the price.
Paid the price. Wow. Okay, last one. I have a 55-year-old lady, 180 pounds. She's 5'5". She is suffering severe eczema in her hands where she can't even bend them. They crack and they're raw and painful.
Okay, this is a gluten issue. Okay. When you have eczema, psoriasis, you have rosacea, those kinds of things are all due to a deficiency of a single nutrient. Okay. And even if you're supplementing with it, if you're eating gluten like your friend did, okay, you can't absorb it and you're still going to have problems. So if you want to avoid all that stuff, okay, don't be taking cortisone because it'll pull all the minerals out of your bones. So what you want to do is just get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no sugar. And then you said she weighed 100 and what?
I think about 180 pounds.
Okay, then she needs 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month. 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal, again, to rebuild the bone marrow and the bone itself, so she can get the antibodies going, right, to protect her against this stuff. And then I want her to also take the hair, skin, and nails. Take the hair, skin, and nails, take 3 of those twice a day. And she needs to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Hard-boiled eggs won't work. And let's see here. Let's go with that.
Okay, excellent. So no additional EFAs or anything?
Well, that comes with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack.
Okay, that's good. So that'll be perfect then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach, and thank you, Dracy, for those announcements. Jerry from Newcastle, 55, 5'11", 220 pounds, has arthritis and asthma. Just heard about you through a distributor on this call the other week. What should he be doing and taking, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, arthritis and asthma. Okay, he's 100 and what? Pounds? What?
220 pounds, 55 years.
Okay, thanks. Okay, 220 pounds and 55 years of age. Yeah, he's got osteoporosis, got arthritis. Asthma is a deficiency of a single nutrient. He's got a gluten problem. So he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods. You've heard this before. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no seeds except for rice. You can have all the rice he wants except fried rice. No fried rice. But lots of rice, millet, buckwheat, beans are fine. And then he needs, as I said, 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, 2 bottles a month of the MSM. Take 3 of those twice a day. Take 2 bottles a month of our vitamin D3, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And then I would also, let's see here, throw in because of the asthma. No, I think that'll be enough because in the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, there's going to be enough of the nutrient necessary to get rid of the asthma. But with the arthritis, I'd also get 2 bottles of our glucogel, so you can take 5 of those twice a day, the 5 capsules twice a day. And the arthritis will go away very quickly. Asthma will go away almost overnight. But this is a forever thing. People say, well, how long do I have to stay on this diet? Well, forever, unless you want your asthma back, unless you want your arthritis back. Okay, how long do you have to stop getting a headache? Well, you have to stop hitting yourself in the head.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. Today, I'm drinking the Ultimate Cardio Sticks. Now, when I was in Hawaii, I had the pleasure of hosting Dr. Wallach, touring around the island, doing lectures. I noticed that he was putting one of these with his tangy tangerine and the osteo effects in his drink every day. This product has vitamin A, vitamin C, B3, B6, B12, boron, caffeine, some amino acids, and a proprietary blend, and it does give you a lot of energy too. Dr. Wallach, this is just one of our fantastic products. We can get in the 30 count stick pack in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA. They're terrific.
Yeah, it comes in a box of 30, and they're a great little product that gives the heart what it needs to be efficient. Okay, it's kind of like putting that special stuff in the gasoline to make your car more efficient. Okay, this is that sort of thing. It's a fuel booster. Okay, the heart loves all those vitamins and minerals in that particular product. I take it 3 times a day, and so one box will last me 10 days.
Excellent. And they're great to put on your auto ship as well.
Oh, absolutely, because I pay the shipping.
That's right. When you are a business builder, distributor, and you have at least one healthy start pack on your auto ship, you add the extra things for your bonus levels. Talk to your upline about this. They will let you know how to earn income in many different ways with Youngevity. Adding something like that really does help.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful product.
Excellent product. Amy from California, you were on the other week. You have a question for an associate. Go ahead, Amy. If you want to let us know what team you're from or anything like that, go for it. This call is for everybody and will be uploaded shortly. Go ahead, Amy.
Thank you so much, Jamal. Yes, I have a friend, Mary, who's 53 years old. She weighs 168 pounds. She has 2 months where she cannot control her blood pressure. It's from 170 to 190 every day. And she wakes up with her mouth very bitter and her hands and toes get numb at night.
Okay, she's how old is she? 53?
53.
Yeah, okay. 53, weighs 169 pounds, 68 pounds, 168 pounds. Yeah, and when she lays down at night, her hands get stiff.
Yes,
and tingling,
and her toes.
And her toes, yeah. Okay, she has osteoporosis of the skull, and she's squeezing her spinal cord. And we of course, we have a book that goes into this. It's called It's All in Your Head. She needs to read this book. Okay, this is osteoporosis of the skull. All right, and when you have osteoporosis, your bones actually get bigger with connective tissue, trying to calm more minerals in there to maintain strength. And what happens is the tunnels that those nerves go through and the spinal cord go through get smaller because all that extra connective tissue, right? Well, when you're starting getting all this stuff going on in your hands and your legs and so forth, that means that the skull is squeezing the spinal cord as it's coming out of the back of the skull. Okay, and then high blood pressure, of course, is due to very specific deficiencies that affect the kidney, and the kidney releases a hormone called renin, which drives your blood pressure up. So 168 pounds, Amy needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, oats, no sugar. And then I would also have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. The MSM, I want her to take 3 of those 3 times a day. That'll be 2 bottles a month. Vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month to help rebuild the bones and the so forth. But the secret sauce for supporting healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through the blocked arteries in the brain and the heart and the kidneys is the, see here, no, not the Procard, it's the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. I'm going to take 3 of those twice a day. Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets, 3 twice a day. I do that. I don't have any problems, but I do it just for prevention. And that's 2 bottles a month. And that will support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. And let me tell you a couple of quick cases here. I get this all the time, but my first one was from Canada. This guy had not urinated in 10 years. He had not urinated in 10 years, right? He was actually doing dialysis 6 days a week to compensate. And he'd been on dialysis for a total of 25 years, but he didn't want to get a kidney transplant, so he just stayed with the dialysis. Well, we put him on pretty much the same program we just gave Amy, your friend here, okay? Her name's Mary. Is that correct?
Amy, if you want to go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And so anyway, we gave her the same program we just gave your friend Amy, and in 2 weeks' time, she's urinating.
Wow.
Okay, so she was able to reduce the dialysis from 6 days a week to 3. In another 2 weeks, she was totally off of dialysis after 25 years. Blood pressure came down into the normal range. She didn't need any blood pressure medication anymore. Do you think she was happy?
Yes, of course.
Well, of course. She was a Canadian, one of your sisters. Okay, so I hope that helps you out. But all this,
Thank you.
yeah, these are all nutritional deficiencies. And again, they are pre-existing conditions, which leaves you open to, if you get COVID, it's going to be a disaster. And so she needs to get rid of these things now so that she can resist the COVID, okay?
Very well. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, God bless you, Amy.
You too.
Thank you, Amy. First time caller, Manase. I hope I said your name correct. If you want to unmute yourself, you can talk to Dr. Wallach and ask the question and go ahead.
I apologize. What's your name?
I think I think it's Manase.
It's Manase.
Ah, here we go.
Manase, I put a note in the chat on your behalf.
Manase, okay.
Yeah.
How can I help you, Manase? How can I help you?
Can you open up your video, Manase?
Or Trish, if you just want to speak on her behalf, go ahead.
I just know that she's got a very bad knee, and it's long-standing arthritis in the knee.
Okay, how old is she?
I think she's probably a woman in her early 60s. She's probably about 5'8", and she would weigh, she's quite a big woman, so I don't know. Unless I ask Manase, I don't know. But she would have extra
Okay.
weight.
Okay, so she weigh 150 to 175 pounds at least, okay, right?
Yep.
Okay, so so what she needs to do is get rid of the bad stuff, okay? No bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown oats, no sugar. I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the big hammer in the toolbox, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to take 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. I want her to take vitamin D3 capsules, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. Then I want her to take 5 of our capsules of the glucogel at breakfast and dinner. That's 2 bottles a month. And if she has pain that she's concerned about, she can use our CM cream with some trauma oil. Mix, say, 4 or 5 drops of trauma oil in a teaspoon of the CM cream, and mix that together and apply that to the knee, and it'll give her a couple hours of discomfort relief. Okay. But the knee will repair itself very quickly, but she's got to be gluten-free so she can absorb the nutrients. And she's got to be gluten-free forever. And she's got to stay, people say, well, how long do I have to stay on these supplements? Well, as long as you want to live. Okay, how long do you need oxygen? How long do you need water? Okay, you need these things. That's why you have equipment in your body that requires these nutrients to do their job.
Fair enough.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to Forrest now. Forrest has a question for an associate, and Forrest is a distributor doing great things in New Zealand. Go ahead, Forrest.
Thanks, Jamal. I think the first one I had there was for Cheryl. Severe menopause. 55. Hot flushes 20 to 30 every 24 hours. Also has inflammation in her right knee, Achilles and tendons, and she weighs 155 pounds and her height is 5.4 inches.
Okay, so what I want her to do is get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown oats, no sugar. You've heard all that before.
Thanks, Doc.
Okay, then I want her at 155 pounds. I want her to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. And then I want her to get 2 bottles of what we call Xerafem. Xerafem. Xerafem is a raw materials to make estrogen and also progesterone. You want to take 3 of those twice a day. And she needs to eat 3 eggs with soft yolks twice a day. Estrogen and progesterone and testosterone for males is 95% by weight cholesterol. She's got to have the 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Okay, I do that twice. I'm 82 years old and I don't have any problems in that area. Of course, I take my Xera test and I take all that stuff as well. Okay. And let's see here. We talked about the knee. We talked about the menopause. I think we're good to go there.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, this is a lifetime pattern, okay? And she'll resist that COVID as long as she stays on the nutrients and stays away from the bad stuff.
Thank you, Forrest. Okay, let me know. We've got time for a couple more questions.
Yes.
And I'm taking off. I'm playing at a wedding today. So.
Oh, hey, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm gonna. If you do have a question, put it in now. This is your chance. And Sarah from Melbourne. Sarah from Melbourne is 5'8". She emailed in earlier in the week. She's 150 pounds, 38. Does a lot of exercise. Heard about you through another distributor, which is great. People are starting to hear about this call and jump on and speak to who I think the best doctor in the world is. She has blood sugar issues that are getting worse and worse. Of course, a lot of regular listeners would know what Doc would probably say, but we've got the Dr. Wallach right here. So what should she be doing, Dr. Wallach?
Okay, whether it's pre-diabetes or diabetes, doesn't matter.
Pre-diabetes,
okay.
but she said the blood sugar is getting worse.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a nutritional deficiency. It's not a genetic disease, as doctors would tell you, okay? So what she needs to do is get rid of all the bad foods again. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, no sugar. She can have rice. She can have potatoes. But she can't have that. She's got diabetes. She can have that, okay, as long as she does this piece, okay? And she exercises, you said, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay, so she needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. And then she needs the MSM, okay? And she can take 3 of those with each meal, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'll help rebuild all her bones and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and stuff like that. She also needs 2 bottles a month of our sweeties, so she could take 3 of those twice a day to support healthy blood sugar. And she needs to test herself on a regular basis so she knows, what her blood sugar is, and she can probably use she can try a urine test strip, because a lot of times when you have pre-diabetes, the sugar will come through in the urine, and just a test strip is $1.50 US. You can buy them in bottles of 3 or 5 or 10, and you don't have to run to the doctor and spend $100 and $200 for the lab. It's $1.50 for the test strip. Do it yourself, okay? And so that's kind of where I would go with this. The exercise. I also want to do one more thing. Get a rebound or sports drink with 75 minerals in it. Okay, it has 100 nutrients, and I only weigh 142, and I take 2 of those 12-ounce cans a day myself. When I travel, I take those sticks with me, the rebound sticks, and I'll use 2 of those. But I never take them after 3 o'clock, because if I take it after 3 o'clock, I'll be up all night. Okay, but she should be able to get rid of her sugar problems very quickly, because pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes are a simple nutritional deficiency disease, and these are pre-existing conditions which set you up for the COVID. So she needs to jump on it, change her diet immediately, get rid of the gluten so she can absorb, take these nutrients, get rid of the problem, and she'll be less attractive to the COVID virus.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. And do remember, everybody, if you want to get Dr. Wallach's CDs or books or tapes, if you're in America, just go to drjwallach.com, order online. If you're in Australia or New Zealand, you do need to go to that website, drjwallach.com, call the number. In Pacific time, order your books, your tapes, all those kinds of things. I always have a few. I'm starting to do meetings again. So that's when I have my books on the table and people walk in, they see the Healthy Start Pack, see the books, see a poster of Dr. Wallach. And now what we can do is we can download this and play them at our presentations. There's no other time that we've been able to do this. So that is a positive of COVID, because we've all been able to talk to Dr. Wallach like this, which I don't think I would have got the opportunity to do. So you are all in. We were all fortunate enough to let for this to happen. Now we can take these recordings and play them at our presentations.
And we can't thank you enough for that. We just love you guys for making it happen.
It's been excellent. Now I do have a question from Gracie, first time caller. Gracie, if you want to unmute yourself, you can talk to Dr. Wallach and ask a question on behalf of your associate there.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm out and about. My brother-in-law, Nick, is 44 years of age, 120 pounds, and he has a lot of lipomas on his body. So he's got lumps, bumps all over his arms, his legs, his torso.
Okay,
His doctor
stop.
says-
Stop.
Yes.
Are these lumps the size of a pea, or are they the size of an
Um,
egg?
No, size of a,
Like-
say, 10-cent coin,
Okay, or a
like
big
2
grape?
grapes, perhaps. Yeah,
Okay,
like a really large grape, yeah.
Okay,
And he's had some of them taken out of his arm, but they've come back. The doctor says they're like little blisters, perhaps on the liver, that might be giving, reacting. He thinks it might be scar tissue. As he was growing up, he played a lot of martial arts, so he may think it's scar tissue.
okay,
They say it's nothing to worry about, but he keeps getting them. They keep
okay.
growing back
These
on
are-
his torso.
Well, these are pre-existing conditions which set him up for the COVID, right? So he's got to get rid of them.
Mm,
And so,
Yeah.
these things can be sort of a weird case of psoriasis, could be related to liver stuff. Okay. And
mhm.
so at 120 pounds, you say he weighs?
Yes.
Okay, 120 pounds. So he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. Okay, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, oats, no sugar. And then I'd have him take one healthy brain and heart pack per month. Get another bottle of our selenium. There's one bottle of our selenium with the healthy brain and heart pack. Don't go to the grocery store and get selenium, because ours has 5 cofactors that are necessary here. I want him to
Right.
have 3 of our selenium twice a day. I also, that's good for his liver and his skin. The MSM is good for his liver and his skin. Okay.
Yes.
And then I also, I'm hearing a lot of talking in the background there. If you quiet them down, yell at them to shut up. Okay, thank you. Okay. They need to also give him the hair, skin, and nails. 3 of those twice a day. Okay, that's 2 bottles a month. And he also needs an anti-inflammatory. And I would go with the BTT 2.0 tablets. Now, the BTT 2.0 tablets do not replace the BTT 2.0 vitamins and minerals. People say, I don't want to take all those vitamins and minerals, and I mean, I have to make drinks and everything. I'll just take the tablets. Well, they're not the same thing. I don't know why they gave them the same name, but they're an anti-inflammatory and they support the immune system. So I want him to take the 2 healthy brain and heart packs, but I also want him to get 2 bottles a month of the BTT 2.0 tablets, which are not interchangeable. Okay. And I want him to take 3 of those twice a day to support his immune system, but also to get all that inflammation down. They'll really get the inflammation down without all the negative side effects of cortisone. Okay. But keep in touch. Okay. And let's see here. I think that'll do it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gracie. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gracie. That was very awesome to hear from you. First time caller there, I think she was. And you are also welcome to shout out to your teammates, your team members. You can call yourself a team if you're a distributor. I decided to call my team Team G'day. So we've got people from all different teams, and that's what this call is for, everybody to help each other. And Dr. Wallach, would you like to say a couple of words before we leave? And then Dracy, if you want to close the call with what product, and tell us about that 300 promotion that we have as well. But Dr. Wallach, thank you again for week 28.
Hey, well, thank you, Jamel. It's just a super job, and your team is just growing and wonderful. But I do want to remind people we have this new CD where it's just the Manchurian prescription, okay, which is all the wrong advice to deal with the COVID. I put the correct advice on here, okay, but it's called the Manchurian prescription. That's available now. We also have the red warning lights, which goes into about a half a dozen of these very serious pre-existing conditions, which sets you up for the COVID. And then you also need the CD called Hell's Kitchen, which goes into the history of why we have all these pandemics now, because we went from wood and using wood ashes as a mineral supplement to electricity. And electricity is what has caused all these problems, because nobody replaced the wood ashes as a source of minerals. And so that's why we have to get right back down to the basics and make sure everybody's getting their 90 essential nutrients, which is 2/3, 60 of the 90 essential nutrients are minerals. We used to get them from the wood ashes. Well, when you went to electricity, the doctors said, okay, now you got to start supplementing with vitamins and minerals. When people ask them that, they say, don't waste your time and money on vitamins and minerals. You can just eat well, get everything you need. Well, any doctor who said that should be put in jail as a mass murderer. So with that said, again, you can go to www.drjwallach.com. That's www.drjwallach.com, all lowercase. And we have all our books and CDs and DVDs in there. And if you buy 10, you get a discount in the CDs. If you buy 50 in the DVDs, if you buy 50, you get a really big discount. In the books, if you buy 10, you get a discount. But if you buy a case, you get a really big discount. And if you're going to have events and meetings, you want to buy them at the wholesale prices, and you can sell them one at a time to your associates at the regular price, and help pay for the room, the meeting room, and all that kind of stuff.
And I remember Sandy Ellsberg says you buy them in 100, call them a boomerang, because they're always going to come back if you lend them to a potential distributor. And when you get them in 100, you can get the best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and you can put your ID number, your distributor name, your phone number, your email. They can print all that on the CD for you, and I sample that with something like our cardio stick and a book, and then you get that back, and then you go from there. It's a great way to sample. This is what I love to call the 2021 version of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach, today. Dracy, are there any announcements you'd like to give us for a minute or two before we go? And go ahead, Dracy.
Well, pretty much what I shared, but if I was just to really explain to all the first-time callers what our 300 Club is, it's a fantastic club that keeps us as distributors focused on what's important, and that is having new business and looking after new customers. And so to be in a 300 Club, it's having 3 new customers with an average of $100 QV with each customer. So as long as you have a cumulative of 300 QV and 3 new customers, you join the 300 Club, and then you can consistently add each month, be in the club for like 7 months, 8 months, just much like yourself, Jamel. I know that you're like 4 or 5 months consistent. I know we got Forrest on the call here, and he's as well has qualified every month. But this month alone, though, we want to recognize anybody that just does a 100. So if they just got 1 customer and 100 QV, they're going to be able to be involved in different prize drawings. And if they do a 200 Club, meaning 2 new customers and 200 QV, they're going to be in the prizes, but you must register. But anyone who does 300 Club in this month not only gets the pin, but will receive a beautiful Youngevity pen, of good quality pen. So to support that, we are giving the free gift to the new enrollee as well of the Youngevity coffee that is loaded and packed, punched with so many antioxidants and goodness, and it's organic and it's free trade and it's grown with the Youngevity minerals. So it's the best coffee in the world. That's all I can say, and I absolutely love it. So
yes.
Please, if you're a coffee lover or know somebody who loves coffee, it's the best gift you can give, as well as great conversation. So thank you. That's what I have to share today. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thank you so much, Dracy. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. We'll see you all next week. Bring your friends. It's going to be recorded, uploaded on the Facebook page. You can all unmute yourself and say g'day and aloha till Dr. Wallach next week. Go ahead, everybody. And I'll see you next week as well.
See ya.
Have a great week.
See you later, everyone. See you later, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Aloha.
All the
Good
best.
day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Colonel Wallach over and out.